Hello, I just wanted to share with you a little bit of reflection opportunity, I guess, to consider the year 2026. Now, as you would probably know if you've been, dabbling around on my channel a little bit, I do most of the time remember to do a little talk about the year ahead, and 2026 is a 10 year. So obviously I'm adding 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. So from a tarot perspective, this is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, what does this mean? Fundamentally, it means that as a collective on this planet, we are all going to be working with the Wheel of Fortune energy. And one of the key things about the Wheel of Fortune is change. The wheel is constantly turning, isn't it? Just turning around and around. So this year, we may begin to see, as individuals, we may begin to notice not only our own patterns, but also begin to see the patterns in groupings of people and in our own historical, I don't know how to say that actually in regular words. Don't mind the chickens in the background. They're having a bit of a chat. They want dinner. And I guess that's something that's relevant because we get stuck in our routines and we respond routinely to things. And I guess that's the stuff. We might begin to notice that humanity itself is doing a cycle. We might notice that. Now, if you think about the major things that have happened in our world just in this previous year, 2025, which, as I'm speaking to you, is coming towards the ending. When I think back over this year, we're seeing a lot of discontent with politics. Different and rather radical things are actually happening in different countries in the world. Different groupings of people are responding to pressure. You might even use the word oppression. And systems are beginning to tumble. And that is not new. We have been in a cycle, I know in my lifetime, of what I would call good times. I've never been hungry, and I hope that you haven't either. There's always been a way to get the things that we need. And historically, there have been times where we've had this long period of good seasons, of many years of abundance, and then things shift. And I think that we're seeing the ending of a cycle and the beginning of something new. Any change brings disruption. None of us, we know this ourselves in our own lives, none of us handle change with complete grace. There's tension and pushback often when we have to make changes in our own individual lives. And as a collective, as a society, and as humanity itself, there is also pushback. So in 2026, I think that we're going to see much more of that discomfort as things begin to shift. Ultimately, of course, change brings good. It brings positive stuff. And that's very much what the Wheel of Fortune is all about. When tarot readers see the Wheel of Fortune, they most often talk about good times. But the truth of the matter is those good times are determined by where we actually are located on the wheel. And for us, in this Western world that I live in, it has been good. We've been floating, in my world anyway, on the top of the wheel. And that shift that's coming is kind of taking us in that downward spiral. And I think we've been seeing some of that in recent times. So even though that shift is happening like on a Ferris wheel, we will come back up again. It will be even better. The ride will be a good one. So let's just watch that this year. Notice it in yourself, how you are dealing with the change. Be aware of the support, because in the Wheel of Fortune, particularly in the Smith-Waite deck, you see those creatures in the edges of the imagery, and they have lots of different meanings. But for the purpose of this conversation, I'd just like to make the suggestion that we are being seen and we are being held as these changes occur. So don't feel that it's all bad. If you pick up the sense that we're on a downward spiral, know that there is support, that the wheel itself is being held almost magnetically by those other living creatures, shall we say, that is witnessed, and that it's all going to be okay, basically. So change is always about movement, and movement forward, movement into the next cycle is positive, and sometimes it feels a little rocky. So just go with it. Keep your eye on where you're wanting to go this year, because that's what gets you there. I know I used to ride a motorcycle, and when I was first learning to handle the corners, because I live in a mountainy area where there's some very good motorcycle riding, one of the things I was taught is, as you go around the twisties, don't look at the edge of the corner. Look at where you want to go on the road, and the motorcycle will take you there. And that is so true. So for us, as changes happen, if they are a bit uncomfortable for us, we just need to keep our eye on that point that we want to go to. And that's the wave that happens as we turn will actually move us in that direction of our desire, because we all desire to get where we need to go, to the good place. So hold that, if you will, and enjoy the year, because you know what they say, while you're above ground, it's all good. And we are here for the experience. We are here to experience the changes and the shifts, and to learn from the patterns of our own experience, of our family groups, of our society and our culture. So it's an exciting journey, and there is good here. One of the things I've learned is you will always find what you're looking for. So when you're looking for the positive things, when you're looking for abundance, for joy, for love, for compassion, for kindness, you see those things. If you're looking for the opposite, you'll see those things too. So align yourself with where you want to go, and I feel that this year will be fundamentally very, very positive.